around there, YouTube? It's Charles here, and today I want to talk about Spawn number 369 from Image slash Todd McFarlane Productions. One thing that I gotta say about this series I love is despite being in production since the 90s, it always keeps things fresh. And now is as good a time as any to get into Spawn. I started reading at about number 310, I think, leading up to the war for Hell's Throne, and then that culminated up in number 350, and we're at 369 now. The Spawn went through a period where the dead zones were open all throughout the world, and they were powerless. Then they regained their powers, and they had to fend off an attack from Hell and their new ruler, Nyx, who Spawn installed as ruler of Hell in the culmination of the battle for the throne of Hell. And so this is a very, very interesting and fun time to get familiar with Al Simmons and this universe, which has plenty of incredible spin-offs from we have the Mothership book Spawn, we have King Spawn, we have the Scorch, we have Gunslinger Spawn, all of these books and more that are running in continuity with this title right here. So you get to see, the last issue of King Spawn really focused on Spawn's brutality. And this issue struck me because it really dealt with Al Simmons' humanity. And it started off with a scene that really took me by surprise. Because Spawn, for as long as I've been reading him, he's been very solitary, keeping everybody at an arm's distance, even people who he's had to temporarily align with, and showing absolutely no vulnerability. And when the book starts, we see Al Simmons looking at, computer screens, trying to figure stuff out. He gets a tap on the shoulder, and he's so freaked out that he falls backward and hits the ground in a crash. And then you see Jessica Priest, aka She-Spawn, looking over him, and she says, "That was dramatic." And he replies, "You scared me." And then she said, "You look ridiculous right now. Let's not let the bad guys see this version of you." And he quips back, "Just help me up." And so you see a little playful dynamic there. Him allowing himself to be relaxed enough around Jessica Priest to be caught off guard is, I think, a big show of growth from the Al Simmons character, that he's let himself be more vulnerable. And we saw that in the last issue as well, where he admitted needing her help. And I'm not going to give away too many plot points of the book because, the joy of comics is getting the book in your hand and discovering for yourself. But they do have a certain dynamic here that almost edges on flirtation, which is interesting because I, really only seen Spawn this relaxed and personal with somebody, it being his ex-wife. And so are they setting up a romantic angle between him and She-Spawn? I don't know. Is this a red herring? Is this... I'm not sure what's happening here, but it's exciting. And then we have another entity trying to restore, what is his name? I can never ever pronounce it right. He's trying to restore Malebolgia to the throne of Hell. So he's trying to resurrect him, teaming up with a vampire. And you also have this dynamic of with the battle for Hell and Hell attacking Earth with this big monstrous creature. It wasn't something that Al and the Spawns and the Angels and the vampires were able to keep under wraps, and it was a fight that really brought them all out in the open. So now wider society is trying to understand, what is this new threat? What are these superpowered beings? Are they with us? Are they against us? That's discussed here, and in a very, very clever way. We have one thing I really find funny as well about the Spawn universe and the Spawn books is that you have these occasional talking heads. It's been in continuity almost since the beginning. And you have, your straight news person right here. You have your more liberal entertainment news right here, and then you have the Patriot, who is modeled after, I would argue, an Alex Jones type figure, and he's all about conspiracy theories and ramping up everything to 11. But the thing that really struck me about this section is when you see these talking heads on the news discussing this new revelation of the spawns and the angels and the vampires. This is the first time that the Patriot wasn't going overboard and wasn't freaking out with conspiracies. He showed calm and genuine concern, which is, it shows the level of threat that these people feel. His whole identity was based in creating fear, and he's scared himself, and he doesn't know how to or can't seem to spin it because he is truly in shock that the stuff that he had been, playing up is deeper than he thought it could be. And so I thought that that was an interesting look as well. And then at the end, I will say that Spawn ends up making a change to himself. And like I said, I'm just going to let you know that it's well worth the read. And the ending is well worth it, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. But he made a change to himself that I think is really going to impact his fighting style, his tactics, definitely his appearance from here on out. The ending makes number 369 a very pivotal, and I think it's going to be one of these issues that will go up in value because we're seeing a whole new Al Simmons by the end of this issue. That's all I'm going to say. So get it at your local comic book store while you can. If you don't have a local comic book store, get yours where I got mine. That's MidtownComics.com. They ship nationwide. The shipping is a little bit expensive, but they pack everything tight and secure for you. And it comes with bags and boards at a slightly discounted price. So check them out. If you're in Wyoming, in Central Wyoming, check out Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment in the Eastridge Mall, a great local shop. If you want to see how it looks, I've done a tour there myself. And if you're in California, or even not in California, but nationwide is shipped, check out Coffee and a Comic. They have great prices on shipping, shipped nationwide. You get to support a small, veteran-owned business, and they give you complimentary coffee with every order. So check them out, coffeeandacomic.com. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. Get Spawn 369, and I am out.